My name is Samantha Hall, and I am the Director/Principal of Fort Smith Virtual Academy, a district conversion charter school located in Fort Smith, Arkansas. We will be beginning our third year as an official public charter school with 23-24, and we have an expected beginning enrollment of around 80 to 85 students. We are seeking High Reliability School Level 1 certification this year. 1.1. The faculty and staff perceive the school environment as safe, supportive, and orderly. Students, staff, parents, and admin all responded very favorably. 34 students had a mean rating of 4.34, 8 staff members, 4.71, 11 parents, 4.34, and 1 administrator, 4.67. The mean scores were all well above 3.5 for this leading indicator. Some samples. I know what to do if an emergency happens. Students rated that 4.34. Our school is a safe place. Staff responded with a 5 average rating. And teachers and staff at my child's school consider it a safe place. Parents responded with a 4.60 average rating. Here at Fort Smith Virtual Academy, we participate in emergency drills along with the brick and mortar building in which we are housed in order to create a sense of security and crisis management in the event of a tornado, fire, lockdown, or medical emergency. Yellow crisis folders are available in every classroom with specific instructions for each procedure in regards to the teacher and students, which are taken during every drill and potential event. In addition to our digital rosters, a set of rosters is also maintained in the office. We also have a sign-in sheet to take attendance for any students who have checked in on site and to maintain an accurate record of all persons in the building in the event of an emergency. Links is a system that alerts members of staff to the event of an emergency through their devices, as well as an alarm system over the intercom. Additionally, there's a staff phone tree for notification purposes. And finally, in the event of an evacuation, there are reunification plans in place dependent upon the various situations, both in the yellow folder and on the school's Google Drive. 1.1b. Student survey results. There was only one question for students. I know what to do if an emergency happens at school. 32 students responded with a standard deviation of 0.79, a mean of 4.34, and a mode of 5. Staff survey results. There were several questions for the staff. To the 4 questions, our school is a safe place. Our school is an orderly place. Our school has clear and specific rules and procedures in place. And I know the emergency management procedures for our schools. 8 staff members responded with a mode of 5 and standard deviations ranging from 0 to 0.52. The means for these 4 questions were 5, 4.88, 4.63, and 4.88 respectively. I know how to implement the emergency management procedures for our school. 7 staff members responded, standard deviation of 0.53, mean of 4.57, and a mode of 5. My students and I regularly practice implementing emergency management procedures for specific incidents. 2 staff members responded, standard deviation of 1.41, mean of 4, and no mode. And finally, our school's emergency management procedures are updated on a regular basis. 6 staff members responded with a standard deviation of 0.82, a mean of 4.33, and a mode of 5. There were also several questions for parents to respond. Teachers and staff at my child's school consider it a safe place. 10 parents responded with an average of 4.6, standard deviation of 0.7, and a mode of 5. Teachers and staff at my child's school consider it an orderly place. 11 responded, 0.79 standard deviation, 4.27 mean, and 5 mode. My child's school has clear and specific rules and procedures in place. N is 11, standard deviation 0.52, mean 4.45, and mode of 4. For the next 2 questions, teachers, staff, and my child know the emergency management procedures for the school. Teachers, staff, and my child know how to implement the emergency management procedures from our school. Identical responses, 8 respondents, 0.52 standard deviation, 4.38 mean, and 4 mode. and identical responses for the final two questions. Teacher, staff, and my child have practiced implementing the emergency management procedures for the school, and the emergency management procedures at my child's schools are updated regularly. 6 respondents, 0.89 standard deviation, 4 mean, and 5 mode. Finally, the administrator results. There's only one administrator, so there is no standard deviation or mode, and the N is 1. Our school is a safe place. Our school has clear and specific rules and procedures in place, and teachers and staff know how to implement the emergency procedures for our school. We're rated as 5. Our school is an orderly place, and our school's emergency management procedures are updated on a regular basis. We're rated as 4. And finally, teachers and staff know the emergency management procedures for our school was rated as a 3. I did not respond to teachers, staff, and students regularly practice implementing emergency management procedures for specific incidents. However, since this was done, that has been addressed. The lagging indicators. For the faculty and staff perceive the school environment as safe, supportive, and orderly. Practices and artifacts have 4 categories: crisis codes, evacuation plans, classroom management plans, and our student handbook. First, the crisis codes. Fort Smith Public Schools has a standardized system of crisis response codes. The codes relate to a stoplight and indicate the type of response for each type of crisis. Green means go, and students have to evacuate. Yellow stands for caution, movement outside the building becomes restricted. And finally, red indicates danger, and students should shelter in place. Evacuation plans. Fort Smith Virtual Academy has a variety of evacuation plans that may alter in response to specific types of crisis. As you can see on the example, fire is in red, and that shows the routes and the alternate route to go in the event of a fire. And then tornado is marked in blue to show the quickest route to get to the tornado shelter. We are housed at Barling Elementary School, which is why this says Barling Tornado Evacuation Plan, and we do have one of these in each room. These plans are regularly updated to reflect staffing changes. Routes are chosen with the intention of a safe, smooth, timely evacuation process. We do have access to the Barling Elementary School Emergency Tornado Shelter, and it can accommodate all faculty, staff, and students in the event of a crisis. Classroom management plans. Although Fort Smith Virtual Academy is a virtual school, rules and procedures are in place during synchronous learning. Synchronous being when the students are online with the teacher. This classroom management plan is an example of what each teacher at Fort Smith Virtual Academy does in order to communicate expectations, rules, and procedures for the school year. While it is different from a typical classroom management plan, it can be displayed easily behind the teacher in a Zoom and easy to see for the students. Parts of the plan are often reviewed periodically or as needed, and rules and expectations are posted in the virtual classrooms. And finally, the student handbook. This is a digital resource detailing all relevant school policies and procedures that pertain to our students. There is a link to the entire handbook. That is just the front page. 1.1c. We did identify 1.1 as an area of strength for Fort Smith Virtual Academy. In accordance with the respondent data relating to this leading indicator, having been identified as an area of strength, no action plan is required. However, monitoring of this assertion will continue to provide valuable data for continuing improvement, in addition to the improvement that we have already made. This concludes the presentation for HRS Level 1.1 for Fort Smith Virtual Academy.